On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, there's a new event happening with new banners. And also, Ordeal Call Part 2 has finally solved the question of who our mysterious man is because I told you so. There were, guess what? More banners! Also, we've got a few other fun things to talk about, like our mailbag segment. And Lucky, I know, has been hard at work on the video games. That's right. It's Let's Talk FGO. I'm one of your hosts, the king of the Pollen Cavern, Omega.
Sir.
With me, as always, sailor upon the sassy seas, Lucky.
I hope everyone's enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Summer Vacation Remixed. And while we're here at Studio Mega, I'd like to bring you the latest in FGO related news and memes. We will be talking about current and future events for the JP and EA version of the game, so anyone not want to spoil it should arm your indigenous people with pile drivers.
Indeedy. Yes, that's right. The show is here. This show will be on time, even though other things weren't in life this week. At the top, I can tell you the Wanted for the sisters, Trung Sisters, is probably out now already if you're watching this later on YouTube. I've shot it and recorded it about a day late and $1 short. Not because I didn't know the event was coming, but because I wrote the script Thursday and then I went to, stare at assets and I was just like, I'm tired. Because Mother Nature has been kicking my ass a little bit.
It's that time of the year.
Yeah.
Tree sex!
Yeah. I would kill for an island vacation right now, TBH. Like, Wednesday when we did Final Fantasy, it rained, all day, and I was like, perfect, thumbs up, no notes. Hey, it's Friday now, it hasn't rained since Wednesday, so we're back to feeling like crap. But we'll soldier on, because we have plenty of things to hit up. But that means that, as always, for their patience and providence, I would like to remind you this episode is brought to you by our patrons, like Adam DeHart, Blackest OG, Call Me Zed, Carlos, Dragon, Flightless Icebird, Jeremy Vasquez, JDV9000, Just the Fae, Chris Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, Charvor, Sean Pryor, some guy named Bob, and Varian the Crow. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Okay, we're good. I had to check in with myself to see if we were going to cough there. We're good. There will be cough breaks in this episode. The Wanted is 20 minutes, and I already had to take a couple breaks to cough there. So it'll happen while we record this show, but I'll try and keep the sound to a minimum. Anyway, we've moved through our intro segments, which means it's time to check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mash.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Because this is the segment I regularly title Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, our segment for pro tips. I have 2 pro tips for you this week. Pro tip number 1. Hey, feel free to take breaks, guys. I know we're all a little time crunched right now with lots of stuff going on, and certainly yesterday, as of this recording, when several people in our Discord, our community, realized just how crunched we were, there was a little bit of grumbling and rankling, because there is a lot on us. But now that we're past that part, this event is 3 weeks long. You got 20 days to finish it, which is, 20 days and some hour change, honestly. So if you want to, take a breath, work on some other stuff, it's fine. Don't freak out. Well, there's that too. But, there's still, you've got some wiggle room.
I mean, you don't have to do those interludes.
No, it is free Saint Courts, but you don't have to do them, because if they're, buffs, they won't matter if you don't roll the servant anyway, at which point you'll unlock them again. I will say, though, if you wanted to focus on doing the interludes, which you can do, rather than focus on the new event, that's fine. You can swap up your focus. Doing a couple interludes shouldn't take too much time, even if we don't have a lot of time left. But, we've got some space to space out your stuff. My second pro tip. We know what April's items will be already. Thank you, FG website, for posting this. April's exchange ticket items will be horseshoes, silver crowns, and small bells.
Gasp.
All of which should be decently good.
I don't know how or when, but I actually have a decent stockpile of small bells, and I have no idea where they came from.
They haven't been giving out as, bonus items and stuff. I think there were a few other things going on, but, I know you needed a lot of them once upon a time. Also, because they're tight.
Thank you. And
so maybe you were just naturally stockpiling them and realized, I've used the ones I meant to use already.
Ugh.
That is the end of our pro tips. That takes us to Seconds from the Throne, our regular achievement topic. So in chronological order, during lotto farming, which was not really a record, I think I did 12 or 13 boxes. Thank you, Roll 100. But it was kind of fucked because I felt like shit this last week. But during that lotto farming, I did open some number of boxes and got my... I got all my... I probably should put this in all evils, but I got all my lotto rewards CEs. I did not get a CE drop. So I'm stuck at 4 copies of that forever. Thanks, game design. It's really cool how you keep doing this to me. Anyway, during all that box farming, I did get Medusa to Bond 10, finally. I used Medusa a lot when the game was much younger, but have other writers now for farming, but did get her to Bond 10. That's pretty cool. And with the start of the new event, I did do some ticket runs for CEs. I got a lot of tickets, and we got a lot more tickets coming. And, hey, surprisingly, a cool thing happened. Got Summer Melt. Finally, that's my first copy. And since we also got EXPs from the Lotto and from the other stuff we're going to talk about later, I can also announce day 1, Melt Smile Protect. Just took her all the way to max out right away. Because, boy, how did I have a lot of EXPs. Goop Goblin, lots of CEs. Lots of EXPs.
Sorry, like, Omega was telling me about the cough zone. I opened my mouth and I felt like, oh, shit, am I about to cough? Just had to hold it for a second. Anyway, thanks to the power of Lotto boxes and anime, I was able to protect the smiles of Napoleon, Nemo, and Valkyrie. I think I still have Brynhildr to get through. If we're talking about Lottos, actually, let me double check. I did not do a lot. I got 10. I know I got my minimum 10. I think I might have got a few more. I did get a CE drop, but I already knew I wasn't going to go ham on this Lotto in the first place because I need to save St. Quartz and I need to save apples. I am like 35 apples right now. Gold apples, I should say. It's like I did...
Appler.
Yeah, so I definitely needed to decide. I decided not to go as ham as I possibly could. So let me double check here. I probably do need to make sure I spend all the stuff from all my currency too before.
I probably need to convert my extra currency.
Oh, okay. I see. I completed 13 boxes. All right.
Nice. I think that's about where I got, and that only because of the blessed nature of the 100 rolls.
Yeah. People need to be thankful for that 100 rolls, otherwise they'd be spending days hitting that roll button. Let me see here. Yeah. So I was able to get a CE drop. I did that. I did not complete like any of the challenges. I didn't try the Giga Coil. I didn't try the super ultra hard Giga Coil. I attempted to do some of the regular roll like ultra hard missions, but I'm like, Lucky's just looking like I do not have brain for this. It's like, I don't know. Do we ever have one of these? Like, do we have another, I think, Nerofest come back or something like that anytime?
Yeah, there should be at least one more, like, Battle in New York or other Fez type event. Was there a straight-up Nerofest as well?
Like, I thought there was, or did we already pass that?
I don't know. We've got more Festival Lottos for sure coming. It's a pretty common format, but... Yeah, the fact that the coils, like, only the last one, I think, drops, like, a crystallized lore, which I was successful in buying all the crystallized lores out of the shop, so still like big net gains there. But
oh yeah, no, you can get like crystallized lures in the shop. You got them from redoing the old boss fights. Like there's a lot of lures in this.
Yeah, but like just seeing that there was no like immediate ticket reward to the Tesla coil matches, I was just like, nah. Spoilers for some mailbag questions where people ask us about doing CQs and stuff, and I'm just like,
I'm gonna be real, y'all. Like, next time this comes around, I will just, I'll bite the fucking pillow and I'll go look at the guide.
Listen, this week Helldivers gave me a shoulder-fired laser gun. Okay, that's pretty cool.
But other than that. No, like I said, I'm still gonna work on, I'll probably, I think I got enough embers to probably level Bryn, and then I'll continue saving embers for Summer Ibuki, who is the horny, the power, and the meme option. Yeah.
Well, that concludes our regular check-in, so let's check in with you, audience at home. Did you finish your master missions? To complete your master missions this week, I need you to defeat 3 each of a combination of Archer or Caster, Lancer or Rider, and Saber, Assassin, or Berserker servants. Also, just in general, defeat 5 and then 10 servants, and defeat 15 humanoid enemies, which also, by the way, are servants. Can you tell you need to kill servants this week? You should be able to accomplish this during the event, because there are servants who are bosses of free quests. They're not story bosses, so you may have to watch out for that. But otherwise, this should be very easy to pull off in Fuyuki, because it's just classes, servants, and humanoids. So, at least taking it a little easy on the master missions there. probably because we've been so so scrunkled. But that means it's time to move on to Skelligrams. So, in JP, we're just keeping up with Ordeal Call number 2 releases, and as I said and predicted, even more id Summon campaigns. There's like 4 of them. Banner number 2, after banner number 1 obviously being new Altermary and so forth. Banner 2 is Jolter and Salieri. So yes, as you expected, hey, Jolter got a buff up and some, she got her animations revamped. They let you pull her again. Banner 3 is Tyra and Regular Mary. Makes sense. And then all the way down at Banner 4, it's all new, baby! I suspect people thought some of this would be going on there, but yes. First of all, we have new Count of Monte Cristo, SSR Avenger. Definitely not Edmond Dantes. And also 4-star Pretender slot, the Count of Cagliostro. So it's counts all around. Monte Cristo is limited. Cagliostro is story-locked. Story-locked. Keep that in mind. Though since both he and Mary Alter are story-locked to Ordeal Call 2, assuming this, we've still got a couple of years left in this game, any Ordeal Call 2 themed raid-ups will probably feature the 2 of them. But yeah, new Pretender, new Avenger. More Avengers. Let's go. We will obviously give you new servant deets later. So now we've actually got quite a lot of NA news. There was a broadcasting station to set this up, and obviously we're kind of in a time crunch going on, moving through a lot of these things. But first, we have Water Monster Crisis, the Floating Island of Innocence, starting the 29th, going until the 18th of April. So, like we said, full 3 weeks, 21-ish days. The event is here. It's basically just like the pregame. There's nothing crazy to worry about in there. Wu got a buff. There's some, other stuff going on. Some melt costumes in the Da Vinci shop area, which I will be taking advantage of later. So on and so forth. We did also, easily, because they started, 2 weeks ahead of time, but we got the 6 Saint Courts from the social media campaign, and your banner is Haibatrung, which I'm probably not saying correctly because I do not know what to do with the diphthong in the U, and the Summer Melt banner. Some of you may be wondering if this is a, this particular translation is better. I mean, yeah, that's what they're usually referred to as in Vietnamese. It just means 2 ladies named Trung. So Trung sisters, Hai Ba Trung, all the same stuff. But also, in addition to Water Monster Crisis going on for a while, speaking of things that are going on for a while, we've got Fate Grand Order Spring 2024 New Master Support Campaign, starting the 29th, going until the 25th of April. So I guess we're on a recruitment drive. It's time to get in some new people. First of all, we've got a social media campaign with tiers of reactions for St. Courts and more, ending in 5 tickets. There's also, I believe, at least a couple of gold apples in here, some QP, mana prisms, shit like that. We're already, through, 3 of the tiers, so keep on trucking, everybody. Check out your local Facebook or Twitter. Get your grandma to repost this on Facebook. Re-thumbs it. I don't know. Whatever you do on Facebook. Twitter is dead. I feel like Facebook is, double dead. Facebook is solely for old people these days. Anyway, we got some stuff. Also, we have limited time master missions for tickets, St. Courts, and EXPs. These are available to everybody, by the way. I wondered if there might have been a goof up, but they do use the big, bold red text to let everybody know, hey, these are available to everybody. So just in general, if you do some stuff, have friends, clear story content, you can get some extra juice. This event is also adding a permanent +3 friend slots. So everybody check on your, friends listers now. It's all very great. We also have part 1, quarter AP until 425. So technically we're already in a quarter AP through Lost Belt 2 because of the Road to 7 and stuff. But the quarter AP for part 1 will stay until the 25th to keep up with the new Master campaign. So it's a great time to get in, especially because the start dash is buffed as well. So yeah, there's, just in general, new spring vibes going on for everybody. And we're attempting a little bit of a recruitment drive. I guess it's a great time to tell your friends to get into FGO if they haven't thought about it, because they'll get a lot of extra stuff. And obviously, if you're a regular player, you can also get a lot of extra stuff by just, doing missions and reacting on social media. Good times. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Thumbs up all around, baby. Oh, excuse me.
We also have our 6th FGO user survey, starting the 29th and going until the 29th of April. It's good for 4 tickets. I have not done it yet because it launched like at technically 5 a.m. today because we had a 5-hour maintenance that was very long.
Very long.
And like I said, I've been scrambling to do video production and catch up on other shit. So I haven't done it yet myself. Don't know if there's any spicy, funny questions in there. Anything odd.
Sorry, I almost dropped my phone.
Yeah, be careful. But it's good for 4 tickets, so... And feedback is important. It does actually, like, affect some of the stuff going on around in this game. So make sure to take your time to fill it out and let them know all your steez. It's good. But yeah, that's basically the news. Lots of updates, some decent new campaigns and stuff. I'm sure everybody appreciates being flooded with loads of EXPs and summon tickets from this springtime campaign. But them's the newses.
Them's the newses. But with the newses out of the way, it is time to move into this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. Let me do a quick refresher. And it says we have eight lovely comments here, and we will get through them all one at a time. No need to rush. Your time will come. And we'll get started right... As I drop my controller. We'll get started right meow. This first one comes from Tired Dave. And they say, before this event, I've always completed everything, but goddamn too many boss battles in too short of time. With the Liz fight being glitched and the Giga Tesla quest, I just said fuck it. What boss battle did you find the most frustrating? Was the Lich fight glitched?
Yes, there was apparently a bug with the Liz fight.
Oh.
I don't know if it was like that her killing effect wasn't working or some other defensive one, but yes, I read that it was glitched.
I didn't even get
and it took them like a full day to fix it, unfortunately.
Oh. But for actually which one is the hardest, I am not the person to ask. I'm really not. Like I said, I was gonna make a solid effort into it, but I was doing the Tota fight with the rice, and I was just all like,
rice fight.
I was just like, oh god, yeah. He just has so much HP, and my cards are getting sealed. I'm just like, why? Why is my life like this?
Yeah, no, I literally don't know. I didn't do any of them. I could look back at years past and tell you which ones were harder in previous years, but I was just like, no, I'm not spending the brain space on this. There's too many of these.
Like I said, I'm finally getting over my burnout and my depression, so I'll probably be attempting more things again. But just for that time, I wasn't there. Fam.
March has been a little scronkled. It's unrelated to the mailbag, but we're not afraid of faffing. But I forgot to mention it earlier. But hey, we didn't stream Monday because that's when I first started feeling like super allergy blasted. Basically felt sick, and that's I think when you started to develop your cough as well. So we were just like, fuck it, we'll take a day off. We can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that our next stream will be on April 1st. I have a couple funny ideas I'll get to pitch to Lucky later.
Oh, okay.
Well, one of them is very easy. I think I've had the part 2 of Can Lucky Guess If Yu-Gi-Oh Cards good list for 6 months, and I just keep forgetting to bring it up, or we don't have a good stream time, and I'm just like, wait, April 1st, that might be perfect. The only other thing would be doing something kind of out of place for us, but still funny, like a tier list or something, which is something weird. But the Yu-Gi-Oh cards might be fine. People, I believe, had a lot of fun with the first run of that.
Mm-hmm.
That spring campaign. FGO tweeting about it. I'll boost that as well.
Boost. But so let's go on to the next one. This next one comes from Oh Man, It Hurts. They say, "Hi, Lucky and Mega. FGO and life have been really rough this week, so I will going to make a request to Lucky. Could you please read what follows as if it happened to you in Not All the Worlds Are Evil But Damn Close in your trademark exasperated way? If so, thanks a bunch." Lucky's just panning to the camera. Do I have a trademark exasperated way?
I do think you have a certain way of talking about Not All the World's Evil when it's happened to you.
Really? Oh god, now the pressure's on.
Nah, just do it. Just do it natural. Read the following events like they happened to you.
Okay. Hang on. Let me drink.
I will not be able to help. I'm developing a stitch in my side sitting still. I took medication only an hour or two ago too. Ugh. I'm getting a hot shower while this episode bakes.
I'm looking at the Patreon chat. It's like, yeah, you kind of do. I'm just like, what? All right. Well, fuck. Shit. Well, I'll give it a go at least. Let me.
Take a deep breath and then feel the ennui.
I will try to feel the ennui. Okay. Well, it's been a long ass time since Scotty was first added to the game, and every time she's had her raid up, I've rolled not once or twice, but multiple multis. This week, I threw 150 Saint Quartz at her banner, and I got Nightingale. What the fuck? And to top it all off, I got no Valkyries, and I said I got 2 copies of Yon King. Oh, and previously did 3 multis for the event CC, and I got 0 for Tesla Fest. So, needless to say, March was not lucky for me. But we'll see what April holds. Is something like that?
Yeah, that was good. That's. I believe that's what this poster was asking for. That was reading it like you yourself had experienced that pain.
Okay.
I think the only difference is that for Lucky, throwing 150 Saint Quartz at a banner is a little small potatoes, but, you know, this person's been trying for a while. That was good.
All right, well, that is that. I hope your future roles will be much better, at least. So, moving on, this next one comes from King of the Garden, who says, "Hey guys, I just wanted to send some good vibes tonight. Take it easy and have fun." Distributing good vibes. Wah, 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 wah.
Yes, thank you for your vibes.
This next one comes from Soul of the Light Mode Discord, the Heathen. The Heathen is not in their name. I add the Heathen, just so everyone's aware. But they say, "Dear Cadbury Cream Omega and Marshmallow Shaped Lucky." I was about to say Omega again. I do not know why. Also, this is false. Lucky is made of Starburst jelly beans. I think I've had like 4 bags of them in the past month. But they say, "This past week has been a grind in all sectors for me, so I was just wondering, since I probably missed any mention of it, but are either of you interested in Dragon's Dogma 2 or something like that way too much of a time sink? Good vibes and a happy pre-cheap egg candy day. Yay. Wah, 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 wah." So I'll just yes, no, I am very interested in Dragon's Dogma 2. I really do want to play it, but I cannot be by purchasing games willy-nilly. Like I said, I had to cancel a lot of things. I had to cancel my pre-order of the fucking, what was it, like 1/7 fucking Koinskaya, of, Lights, figurine I had ordered. I think it was like $500, and I'm looking at that, I'm like, I can't afford that right now.
Yeah. No, I understand.
So, yeah, no, I had to cancel, P3 Reloaded. That was also because I had got the special edition of that, which was like around $200.
It's shocking, and I mean, I know that there's psychology involved, but it's shocking, like, when you're flush with cash, how dumb you are with money. You're just like, no, I can totally afford this. It's fine. Then, you know, you get a little, you know, it can be as much as just a couple of months pass, and you get into lean times, and you're like, ooh, shit, I should have been smarter with where I put that. Now we gotta go lean, we gotta go thin.
Yeah, no, like, there's still games that I'm gonna be buying, but they're the games that, like, the top of my list, you know, like, Stellar Blade, I still got locked in. I still have my Tsukihime locked in. I still have, I did pre-order, Dawn Trail, the special edition. Because fortunately, it was only as much as a regular-ass game, the special edition. Digital. Lucky can't afford no physical shit, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that would be the crazy part. Yeah, I haven't locked in my Dawn Trail pre-order yet, but that's just because, like I said, I need to take the time and research how it's best for me to do that on the PlayStation license. Probably through PS Store.
Probably.
But I'll have to take a look at how that's set up.
It's like, things could get weird.
Yeah,
but
just in general with all, like, the different versions, because the game's been around for 10 years, you know, it being weird, but also, like, just in general, Square Enix's website is held together by, you know, duct tape and prayers. So, it tends to get stressed whenever people are out there, and boy howdy was there a lot of demand for Dawn Trail. But yeah, so you're still interested, you know, down to clown with, Dragon's Dogma 2. Just, you know,
no, I just gotta go on the backlog. Same with Rise of the Ronin. Like, I did want that game as well, but...
Yeah, I think personally for me, like I said, I've just been in a slump this week with, like, feeling like shit. I have mostly been playing Helldivers, a little bit of 14, trying to get back in my 14 swing, because I gotta, you know, I have a date, I have to clear all the stuff before Dawn Trail comes out. And when I have felt too ill to do that, I've been back on my fucking power wash shit. I still never, you know, cleared all the career of that. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close to the end, because we're doing some fucking weird stuff, but, you know, you never know with this game. So, like, I still have P3 in my backlog, and I'm not ready to move on yet. But I definitely think that, like, out of the games that released in March, it's probably Unicorn Overlord, then Rise of the Ronin in that order.
Mhm.
I am interested in Dragon's Dogma 2. Like, it looks super neat, and I like a lot of the systems. But I also was one of those guys. I heard Dragon's Dogma, the original, talked about a couple of ways, because there's been a lot of, like, talk and controversy about it. The description I like is that Dragon's Dogma 2 is a niche freak game for niche freaks. And like, that is definitively what its genre is. These people are very excited and often defensive about it because they had to wait like 10 years for a sequel they didn't think was coming. And so I did bounce off the first one. Like, I own Dark Arisen for PS3 somewhere. I did bounce off it. Like, I played it a decent amount, got like probably 5 or 6 hours in, but I definitely felt that, like, I kind of experienced just the general, like, not directionlessness of it, but the original Dragon's Dogma is a very just kind of, like, vibey game. Just some stuff happens to you, and they're just like, yeah, figure it out. And obviously when it came out, I was, not as plugged in. Like, nowadays, I think there's even people in our Discord going back and playing, like, DD1. Like, if I wanted to figure out what the fuck I was doing, I could easily do that. But at the same time, it's like, it makes me cautious, because there are these times when I play these games that are, like, everybody's super hype about, and I'm also super hype, and I play them, I'm just like, it's good, it's not quite my vibe. And sometimes I feel bad about, spending $60 on it. A little bit like Armored Core. Like, I genuinely do like Armored Core. It's just I feel like it takes a time chunk, and I currently don't feel like alive and juiced enough to get back in Armored Core 6. But you know how it be. So like it's lower on my list, but I am interested in it. It seems really cool. Like, there's a lot of stuff going for it. I hear that the PlayStation version is a lot more stable, as kind of coin flips on console versions are. But as the best way I can guess is that it does genuinely seem like designing with, one particular spread of specs in mind seems to help iron out problems.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of times console versions are a little more stable. So, like, I'm not worried about that, and obviously the DLC is dumb, but I don't give a shit about it. I don't need to buy, fast travel items or fucking jail keys. I'll figure it out. But yeah, it's on my radar, but it's like lower on my list because I've gotten a fairly big backlog because March was very stackled. And I love Rebirth. Rebirth is great. Rebirth took me 110 hours. And that's not I still got shit to do technically. Like, I took a break this week to check out, Mr. Ultimate Party Animal and see like some Coliseum fights and some minigame grind. I'm just like, woo, no, these are too tough. I gotta be real gassed for this. This is spicy. You want me to do what in the Coliseum? Fight 10 million Tonberries?
Yeah, no, I had to do that one a couple times. I had to equip into death items.
Yeah, I figured that's what I would have to do. I just like I did one run and got beat, and then I did this. I was like, no, I'm just rusty. Let me do the salty run back, and then I did the salty run back, and I'm like, oh no, I have to pre-plan for this shit. We're not in the mood for that. I am not well enough for this. So yeah, no. I think Lucky and I are kind of in the same boat. Dragon's Dogma 2 seems cool. It's just, there's a lot of other stuff going on, and there are definitely some games that need to jump that line a little with, limited time and money.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be even playing Helldivers if someone hadn't gotten it for me. Thank you, Aaron. You the best. Let's move on, though. So... this next one comes from Monster Girl Aficionado, who says, Dear Lucky Omega, no question, just sweet, just sending good vibes, wah 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 wah, and wishing you well. Keep up the great work. Same to you, buddy. Thank you very much. So, moving swiftly of stuff swiftly-ness. This next one comes from Agent 418, saying, Hello, Lucky Omega. Have a good weekend, all. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope your weekend is splendiferous. But with no more to say on that, we keep chugging along. Next one comes from the Cavern King that has looked into the future for the Super Recollection Quest and did not like it. Question, hey guys, with Recollection Quest out now, which has been your least favorite one? Also with NA hitting the gas, now with events, how will you prevent the burnout? Usually I'm pretty fine around this time when NA starts to pick up the pace, but lately my will has slowly been decreasing. Anyway, that's it for me. Sending good vibes your way. Wah, 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 wah. And hope you have a great evening. I'm going to be real, guys. I haven't done the Recollection Quest.
That was going to be my same confession. I would have to be like, don't know, didn't do them.
People have been screaming about them and has been like utterly terrifying me of
I mean, I probably should do the normal ones because they're doing that thing that we like where we actually get to replay story fights. And I think it's only the normal ones that are good for tickets. Like, the super ones are good for teapots, and I really love teapots, but also, like, I don't really want to fight Super Surtur. Also, to be real, the LB2, are they... This is for the Patreon chat. Are those still open right now? Because I know that there's still the interlude thing. Is that campaign's technically still ongoing? Because I don't even know if I've got time to do them. Because if they're over, they're over. And I was like, fuck, man, I gotta... Okay. Let's see if I can budget some time to do the normal Recollection Quests then later today. But, like, nah, man, I just... The time crunch on the lotto, I was like, no, I need to make sure I clear these 10 boxes and get enough currency for these crystallized lures and shit. Like, I had to prioritize stuff in order, and... tickets are good. Tickets are helpful. Just got, Summer Melt off a run of 10-ish tickets. I think it was actually, like, ticket number 7. I ended up spending all 10 to try and fish CEs, which I did not get, but, Summer Melt's better. But, like, at the same time, it's definitely like, I don't really want to bust my balls for just tickets and teapots,
Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple days, so maybe I'll have time to do the regular Recollection Quests, but I definitely, like... The Super Recollection Quest just sound like such a pain in the ass, and I'm just like, nah, I don't wanna. And I have good setups generally. Like I've gotten a lot of our big meta, support units. I have a Scotty, I have a Merlin, had a Merlin for a long time. Have Castoria, I have Coin of Light. Like I got a lot of the juice in the can, but man, it's rough stuff sometimes doing those quests.
Yeah, no. So, like I'm here to have a good time, not a painful time.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, so if you've done, any of them, good on you. You did it. Thumbs up.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you. But I think that is enough on that. So we are going to move on to not the least, but the last one, which comes from the master who wants to petition an NP brightness adjuster to avoid epilepsy situations. You know what? Fair.
Yeah. It probably would be nice to adjust some of your brightness. Some NPs are very flashy.
Oh, son of a bitch. That reminds me, people are always asking like what they would like to add to the game or something, and I realized that I had one that I hadn't thought of before, and I was going to mention it, but I forgot what it was, and now I'm going to, hate myself for like the rest of the night.
Oh, listen, Lucky, that's okay. I have a little like, decongestant inhaler, for clearing out my sinuses and stuff. I lost it twice today.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, I literally, like, I misplaced it earlier when I was working on the one, and I, had to go everywhere. It had slipped under a pillow, and I just couldn't see it. And then the second time, I just set it down on a shelf and couldn't find it again, and I was like, son of a bitch, I literally just did this today. What the fuck is wrong with me? But I found it again both times, but, it's like, shit happens, man. I'm having one of them days.
One of them days.
Well, you don't want to wake up. Fucked.
Anyway. Hello again, Lucky and Meg. I hope you both are doing well this week. Just felt groggy some days this week from not sufficiently drink water, so I wanted to boost a reminder to hydrate so you don't fall under the weather. Thanks for the hard work you put in your podcast, and one of which I wish you both a good weekend. Same to you, and thank you for that hydration situation reminder.
Yep.
Yes, as the weather starts to heat up and people start to be more active, please remember to drink more water.
I'm pretty sure I drink about 3 bottles of water a day, at least. More if it's super hot. I think this might be end of the third I'm working on right now, actually.
I need to drink more water. That message directed me. Listen, I live in a state where it rains a lot. I just absorb moisture from the air. Usually, it's fine. But it's getting warmer now, and that will not work as well.
Watch out that heat's gonna replace.
But that is it for Mailbag. Thank you everyone so much for putting it in, and hope we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a later one, but you guys were all ready to rock.
Yeah, you were.
And we'll get into why it was later. Haha. First, it's I can say Chaldea. We know it's pronounced Chaldea, but I can say Chaldea. I've been doing this show for like a lot of years. I mean, technically we're coming up on the 7th because we've done it for about as long as FGO has been going on, which is crazy to think about. Hey, thanks. Shout out to those of you who've been sticking with us from the beginning. Also, shout out to those of you who found us later. Both of those are cool. Shout out to you if you find this in the future. Good job, you.
You're cool, too.
This is my message to the future. You must remember, don't allow them to open the... Sadly, I can't set up the show to just end when I do that bit. You'd be able to tell anyway. We're only like 45 minutes in, but it's funny. Anyway, free talk. Servant deeds. Because we have new servants. As always, we've got a duo here, so I'll ask the people, Lucky and the patrons at home, where do we want to start? 5 stars or 4 stars?
Let's start with 4 stars.
All right. We have finally now, because he was mentioned in some liner notes, basically, as a servant they had originally started designing for Heiankyo for 5.5. But we've got Alessandro Cagliostro, also known by his French name, Joseph Balsamo, also in Italian sometimes Giuseppe Balsamo. The man's got a lot of names, okay? He's a perfect call for a pretender. This guy was known as an adventurer and occultist and associated with a lot of classic flimflammery. He is very directly tried into pre-revolution France. He was the guy involved in the case of the Diamond of the Necklace, literally. So that's directly connected to Marie Antoinette. But he's also associated with like secret society and Freemasonry stuff, psychic surgery, alchemy, all kinds of stuff, all over the place. Pretender is a pretty good call for a guy who was basically in character the entire time. Like, I don't know if this guy ever turned off being, his persona, because we straight up don't know, where he comes from. The playwright Goethe, did some research into him and, tried to dig up his family tree, but wasn't sure about stuff even then, so, it's all over the place. He's also, subject to plenty of rumors and stories about him when he was alive, but also shitloads of urban legends and fictional involvements later. His descendant was involved in Maurice LeBlanc's Lupin stories, which is probably why Japan's heard of him so much. And you may realize that Japan's heard of him so much because there are some fucking Lupin the Third stories about, Cagliostro and his lost shit. And that's just, a tiny slice of the amount of things about him. Contemporaries wrote about him like a fictional character. I think he's in some Dumas stories. Alexandre Dumas, author of, The Count of Monte Cristo. And other, funny contemporary things. So, yeah, very much larger than life. Also, hey, in case you can't tell, because his card art is, a front-facing sprite that's a little different than how you saw it, but, not only is the Count Cagliostro very wide, but he's also old guy from the preview images. It's him. Not a lot of people were calling that, but yeah, he's here. So we have a handful of 4-star pretenders, so we can build a little basis on this. He is actually number 2 on both attack and HP in that list, just under Capriestus, who is technically the highest HP and attack of 4-star pretenders. He is quick, arts, buster, that's right, caster deck up in here. High quick hits, 5-hit quick card, and average, other stuff. So slightly below average NP gain, he's 0.4 something. His NP is an AoE arts, which strips defensive buffs first, reduces the target the hit enemies, I should say, defense by 20% for 3 turns, just bonus damage to lawful enemies. I was asked earlier before the show started if he's good. Yes, as a pretender, which means he hits a lot of has multiple class advantages. A AoE NP with bonus damage that strips defensive buffs. That's good. Thumbs up. I will say that his cooldowns are a little crazy, but I think that's because some of his skills are pretty cronkled. His first skill is a 30 to 50% battery. That's right, once again, AoE NP that strips defensive buffs first on a 50% battery. Gives him 3 turns of 20 to 30% NP damage up, and also hits enemies with 3 turns of confusion, but it is a only 30% chance to skill seal, so it's very much an extra, but still something that's occasionally useful. This does have a little bit of a long cooldown, not his longest cooldown, funnily enough, but I believe it's something like 7 turns minimum. Yeah, it's 9, 8, 7. So, long for a battery, but good enough to get him started. His second skill is a, quite frankly, ludicrous 5k to 10k guts.
That's big guts.
Yeah, 1 time 5 turns. His maximum HP, by the way, without Grails is just over 11,000. So this guy has a guts for basically his entire health bar if it procs.
That's pretty strong.
He also has a on guts activate buff for 1 time 5 turns, which gives him 30% battery when a guts activates. Note that obviously that's designed to sync up with his own guts, but that is any guts. It is 1 time, but it will trigger. It also gives him 20 to 30% NP gen up, and his NP was already not bad. It's 0.41 for 5 turns, maximum of 30%. The main thing that is a drawback to this one, because his guts is ludicrous, is this is a very long amount of cooldowns. It's 12, 11, 10. On the other hand, assuming that nothing bad happens to your guts, this guy basically resets his HP 1 time in 5 turns with that guts, so, like, it's pretty good. It's got the juice, but yeah, no, it's a crazy guts. Honestly, his final skill is pretty normal. It's just a 20 to 30% arts and crit up for self, so critical damage up and arts up for 3 turns, 20 to 30%, like I said. It also gives him a on attack debuff applied. When he makes normal attacks, he will give that enemy a 10% buff success rate down for 1 turn. So that's pretty spicy. That's going to be super annoying if you ever have to fight this guy, but definitely is funny. It is only on normal attack, so not MP, but still a good buff to get in there. And he has some passives that give him 10% debuff resistance passively, and also increases his star generation on arts cards specifically by about 30%. So he can actually generate some crit stars. His second passive gives him 10% debuff success, but also gives him a passive 10% buff removal. And his final skill gives him just a flat 10% critical damage increase on arts cards all the time. Can you tell this guy likes arts? So yeah, all in all, while those long cooldowns are a little troublesome, there are plenty of ways to reduce those numbers to more reasonable levels. And like I said, this guy gets decent damage buffs for an AoE farmer with that debuff strip. If you're actually doing tough content, like I said, he basically gets to fully come back to life at least once. And for challenge quest type stuff, having like a confusion and a debuff success down he can apply for 1 turn on normal attacks, it's very funny. You know, there's probably some setups you can do there. So for a 4-star pretender, he should be perfectly reasonable. There's, like I said, there's 4 of these guys. He fits in just fine with all the rest. Also, if you're curious, the other 4 stars we got to worry about. Actually, no, it's 4 right. It was 4 before he came out. It's 5 total. So you've got Faceon, 9 Dragon, Eliza, Talon, Talk, and like I said, Capriestus. So like all of those are pretty in there. He's also our first and only, so far, story-locked pretender, which is funny. I think it's mostly just that our other pretenders who would probably be story-locked are limited. But yeah, no, they're trying. Should be a solid guy. Yeah, that's a great way. Sorry, somebody in Patreon chat said that he has a built-in break bar. Yeah, no, it's basically you have a break bar for a playable unit. He literally gets back most of his HP with that 1 guts in 5 turns, so yeah, solid. That means it's time to talk about a Cavern King, the Count of Monte Cristo. So this is basically Dantes 2. While the servant called Edmond Dantes does think of himself as not the sailor Edmond Dantes, he still kind of is that guy. This is the servant mode that is just being the Count. He is truly a manifestation of vengeance, the king of the cavern, le Comte de Monte Cristo. Or, alternatively, because fate is wild like this, the servant named Edmond Dantes is hypothetically a real person. He is the human who served as the inspiration for Dumas' novel. This guy, that is the Count of Monte Cristo, 5-star Avenger, is Earth attribute, which means he is from myths, not necessarily supposed to be from real history. So he is straight up the fictional character. He is the man, the myth, the legend.
Okay.
Which is, so you have got a couple of different ways to look at it. And this is the kind of thing that I do like that they can do with Fate, where you can basically have, like, already, Dantes is pretty crazy because we're just straight up saying that basically, like, yeah, no, the Count of Monte Cristo is a story based on a real-life guy, and so that means that if we account for all that Fate bullshit, the Count of Monte Cristo is pretty cool. You know, Edmond Dantes, he did some crazy shit. But also, we have the legend of this guy called the Count of Monte Cristo. What if he was rad? And here he is, being rad. So, as an SSR Avenger, he's got a little bit more attack and a little bit less HP than his normal form. He's Quick Arts Buster with high hit counts and high NP gen. Funnily enough, they've actually give him a little of advantage there because he's only got one arts card. But his both of his quick cards are 5 hits. His arts is only 3, but still, it's 1 card. And his busters are 4, and he has a 0.72 NP gen. So like, that's pretty good on 5-hit quick cards. He'll be cooking. He'll be zipping. And so his NP is a single target quick. It gives him Pierce Invul for 1 turn first, so you will always Pierce Invincible and Evade. It basically guarantees a stun. It has a 500% chance to stun that single enemy, so it's basically like Skok's NP. That also, technically, the stun activates first before dealing damage, so even if, besides piercing, if the enemy has some way to, like, get out of jail with the damage, if they're not debuff immune, they still get the stun. His NP also deals bonus damage based on how much burn the enemy has, like an extra 10% damage multiplier. Per each stack of burn they have to a maximum of 10 stacks. Pretty usual for that stuff. It does have a demerit that it inflicts him with 500 damage of burn to self for 3 turns, but that doesn't fucking matter unless you're really spamming your NP. And also its overcharge effect is to reduce the target's defense for 3 turns, starting at 10%, based on that damage. Oh, it's also a 10-hit quick single target Noble Phantasm. You will be refunding if you're killing. If you get overkill or overgauge, you're gonna get a lot of juice back. So, already, that's just the fact that he is an Avenger with a single-target Noble Phantasm that always pierces and always stuns, that's already really good. But wait, there's more. First skill is a pretty normal 20 to 30% quick and buster on stealth, but is also a 2 hits, 3 turns invul, so he also has hard defenses, and just, like I said, generally makes his quick and buster cards better. His second skill is a little interesting, so it gives him 20 to 30% attack on self for 3 turns. It gives him a on-attack debuff to inflict burn on enemies when he hits them for 500 damage for 3 turns, so both the on-hit buff and the burn is for 3 turns. This skill specifically makes him immune to poison flat out for 3 turns, but also gives him 3 times 3 turns of general debuff immunity. I assume they did that because they wanted it to make it a partial dot immunity, like they wanted to do the poison, but didn't want to necessarily make him immune to every debuff all the time, so they went with not 3 turns flat, but 3 times 3 turns, but still, lots of debuff immunity. Lots of it. And then his final skill is also very simple, but it's a 30 to 50% battery. That's right, get them battery. It's also 3 turns of 30 to 50% crit damage up, and 3 turns of Star Absorb up. That's technically 600 to 1000%, so 10 times as much Star Absorb on an Avenger for 3 whole turns. His passives are Avenger B, so he generates a lot of extra NP when he's hit with an attack. This also means that the party has lower debuff resist. He has Oblivion Correction EX, so he always has 12% extra crit damage. And his self-replenishment D, which means he's generating a measly 3% NP per turn. So, honestly, the count seems amazing. If you're playing quick setups, he is great for killing bosses. Like I said, his NP basically always procs the stun, because it's a 500% chance, and also always procs up a Pierce Invul on himself. He generates NP back very easily. He's got very solid offensive buffs to crank his damage. The crits are good, the other effects he's got going on, like Quick Buster and general attack up, good. He has a hard defense, that's amazing. The only thing I think that is a little complicated here is the fact that his NP procs bonus damage based on burned enemies, and per stacks of burn, a decent amount of story bosses and CQs these days are straight up debuff immune or situationally debuff immune, which will make that a little harder to pull off. And even if they are able to be burned, he only generates burn himself on hit, which can, lead to some slow roll setups. Obviously with break bars, you have some turns to build up debuffs and stuff. But in general, I don't think of burn teams as being quick focused. Usually they're a little more based around arts and a little bit buster, because Tomoe is usually a hybrid and Yangui Fei is arts. Though, with one of her buffs, Empress Wu is quick support and also does proffer burns, so there's a little bit of synergy potential there. But yeah, it's just one of those things that's like, unless they add another unit who's focused on amping and applying lots of burns who's quick, it's a little loosey-goosey. There's probably some team-up potential between Maonobu and, the Count, because Mao's NP is AoE and applies burn for 5 turns, so you can, like, do an ad sweep, maybe break a bar, and burn them to set up for Dantes to do some extra damage. It's still only 1 stack, though, so, like I said, it's not perfect. But even then, like, without the fact that he's got a slightly hard-to-work-for gimmick, he's still just a great guy. He's an Avenger, loads of attack, super cool-looking, you know, great, fun new drip he's got going on. So yeah, he's rocking out. And that is the new servant Dietz. Sozos. In the free Talkius, that leaves us just with Water Monster First Impressions.
Okie doke.
So yeah, the event's just started. It's very new. I'm only like 1 quest in, or technically 2 acts in. I gotta, you know, farm some little guys. But honestly, for a you know, a brief tight intro, seems perfectly fine. We're back on our you know, weird shit era. This has definitely got, you know, quirky FGO event vibes. We're literally like in media resed onto a desert island and are like, we have no idea what we're doing. Who's our team? We've got Ishtar, or not Ishtar, Ereshkigal, the other one. Sorry, I'm speaking rapidly because I'm trying to hold my breaths in. You've got Eresh, you've got Wu, who I mentioned earlier, funnily enough, and you've got Summermelt starting out that way. Very quickly, you run into the sisters after you fight what is just a deep one, or Justice Hagen from Final Fantasy, which, spoilers, those are also the same thing. But we call them mermen, but there's, yeah. If they start chanting Leviathan, I'm gonna fucking not leave. I'll sprint towards that shit, actually. Remember to activate the barrier. But, you know, we run into these, you know, weird little guys. The cone. The weird little dudes.
The cone. I still prefer calling them the little guys.
Yeah. I mean, then I don't have to worry about my pronunciation, because they are just, in fact, little guys. They're kind of like the boars from the part 2 of Summer 1, but hopefully a little less tedious in their content.
I don't know. I always like the boar triplets. I thought they were cute.
They were kind of like a. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is the analogy we've used before, but I'm pretty sure they're kind of like a little Greek chorus. They had their moments, to be sure. I think mostly just the Summer 1 Part 2 is how I should phrase it, was just like really long and kind of tedious. That there was this back half built in. So
that is true.
People probably have bad sense memories of associating the boars with doing that content, which was just kind of like, man, I have to do this literally again. It's funny, you know, it's been a lot of years, but we're back to doing events that are technically 3 weeks long, but now they're not like how Summer was split up, where it's just like phase 1, phase 2. But yeah, we run into some little guys. We save them from a merman. We run into the sisters. The like first couple pips are just lots of exposition running down through like what their deal is and what they're about. Pretty good work to sell the audience on them. You know, so far they seem completely normal. You know, there are some good jokes I think in there. Like I remember the hype train one, and it's just like, you wouldn't be thinking of, you know, not getting on my sister's hype train, and we're just like, without not even prompting the player, we're just like, choo choo. It's like, okay, yeah, you know, we're doing it. Mash gets in on it. But after like the introductory story stuff, I kind of feel like, admittedly, it's because I'm fucking self-cooked. I'm like literally feeling feverish today, but I feel like that big exposition dump with Elder Turtle was just saying stuff.
Yeah, it might come back later.
I'm hoping it gets a little more clear, because there does seem to be some stuff going on here. The turtle is like, I'm the island, and like, you know, straight up gets asked, so are you like a divided, you know, divine spirit? Are you like the brain of a spirit? And he's just like, I don't know, I'm old. So I'm like, well, I hope we get some clarification there later, but you know, it sets us up our conflict. You know, he is the elder of the island and kind of like its tutelary deity. He just says that the Khan just kind of started growing out of the island one day, and that's where they're here. And they are too cute to ignore, so we're just kind of in it. I do think there's some hints that there's some stuff going on. You know, we brought Aresh with us, and she's just kind of like, the underground here feels weirdly empty, but not like it's hollow. Not like it's caves or anything. It's just weird. I do like the squad we have with us. It's a very... I like how even, like, Chaldea is like, we have no idea where we pick these servants, but they're here.
I am pretty sure it's because they all have a bunch of little followers.
Yeah. They all have some little guys with them. it makes sense. With the exception of Wu, who actually has some big ladies. But yeah, so your crew is Empress Wu, who is Chinese, by the way. Though she does bring up that she ruled like 600 years after the rebellion of the sisters. You've got Ereshkigal, Queen of the Underworld, and you've got Summermelt specifically, the Devia of penguins. And also, I'm fairly certain, based on banners and bonuses, some other characters will show up later, but for now, it's just those three and the sisters. So yeah, it's a good setup to an event. It does make me kind of, have that not really on edge, but definitely that sense of like, okay, all right, where's this going? There's enough hint of mystery to be like, okay, you've probably got some stuff here, right? So I'm interested to see what the stuff is. Otherwise, I've only just started actually like farming it out, but seems fine. I do want to say that this is just a pet peeve, but it's been that way for the past couple of events. But like, I really wish we would do something with the event bonus filter, because I love filtering by event bonus and literally not filtering servants. Because yes, technically everybody has a drop bonus in this event, but like, I'd like a tool to track who gets the like extra bond and damage, please, so I can like set my support setup and other stuff correctly. I know that Morgan's on the list, so it's pretty easy to set up easy farming with her, but still, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, game, I would like to track this better. But it's kind of whatever. It's just one of those little things where I'm just like, this is not super clear UI, but, we'll work with it. How about you, Lucky? How in are you on the event?
I got through my first upgrade, I could say. And I do want to spoil a little bit, because I do want to talk about how this gave me genuine joy. But when you get onto the next segment, it turns out the person that you call is Semiramis, who's just all like, are you fucking serious? And you're like, yes, I'm fucking serious. And she's like, okay, fine. And she puts on her construction hard hat, and I'm like, yas. But I think the thing that I like the most about the scene is she just goes, hup! And it actually feels like she lifts up the fucking, the screen to a new upgraded screen. I'm like, oh my god, that was amazing. I love it so much.
Yeah, we like a little bit of flair.
No, they put on a little bit of flair here. And I've made it to my first pick of, upgrades, because when I said this has kind of been like summer vacation, remix, it kind of is that way, because apparently you're gonna go through here and make choices on what paths, the cons in the village are gonna make. Like, the first one is you have to decide what you're going to arm the cons with, and you can pick katanas, spears, or pile drivers, or pile bunkers. Actually, is it pile drivers or pile bunkers? I don't know.
No, it's pile bunkers is the weapon.
Pile bunkers is a wrestling move. Okay, pile bunkers. You basically get to bring someone with you who does it. I went with katanas because that was being revved by Raiko, so I'm like, yes, this is the Genji way. But if it wasn't for that, I probably would have picked pile bunkers. Even though the actual logical choice is spears. Leonidas is the one who is explaining why spears are so good, and he makes a very compelling case where I'm like, no, he is right.
I mean, there's literally a line in the Seven Samurai when they're trying to figure out this shit with the village where they're like, let's make some bamboo spears.
Yeah, no.
It's classic.
Like, logically, spears would be the best choice, but I got an excuse to bring Raiko here. And if it wasn't for that, I'd probably go with fucking pile bunkers, because as Amakusa does say, because he's the one who suggests them, they're fucking cool.
Yeah, I figured that would be the argument. That's good.
Also, the follow-up by Semiramis, seeing follow-up with Semiramis being like, I'm gonna make this man drink a gallon of memory erasing poison. I'm like, my immediate thought was, is that a thing?
She has poison for everything.
I guess. Well, that's where I stopped, so I'm not that much further ahead. But
so yeah, solid start. We got the jokes, we got the characters. Seems all right.
Yeah,
I'm sure there will be some twisties and turnies, because they did show us the like large the special merman lurking in the ocean, just kind of like.
Ocean Man plays ominously in the background. Oh god, I need like a horror remix of Ocean Man. I bet they can do it.
Whoa, sorry. I started a huge yawn there. I was going to say that somebody's had to have done a horrorcore remix, but I was gripped. Oh, shit. I mean, we're not that deep in recording, and I don't feel that bad, but I'm yawning big. I don't know if I can get through this week's Fanservant Friday without starting and stopping a lot.
Yeah, we can pass on it.
I can at least announce the results. The poll ended, a few weeks back. I haven't been repping it super hard this week because I'm just cleaning up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm a little surprisingly, I've checked it out, and the winner is Meleager Lancer. So we're going back to our classical Greeks here. So that's one that's been on my list for a while. So it'll be good to scratch it off. But yeah, I'm just, I guess I'm more tired than I feel. It happens.
It happens.
Yeah. So we'll put a pin in that. That's good. Yeah. Just gets more and more faint and more underwater sounding. I knew anything about like audio remixing or. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know a thing or two about audio editing, but mostly for spoken audio. Like I know about like adjusting levels and editing out noise and stuff, picking your moments, good cuts like that. It's the like musical editing I don't know much about, but there's definitely some stuff there. So yeah, like I said, we'll put a pinnacle in that, and that just leaves our what's up zone, which is gonna be mostly you, Lucky.
Mostly me.
Because, like I said,
the
thing I've mostly done this week, besides just play my usual games with the boys and do a little bit of working our way through adversaries for Singularity War, is, like I said, I've been back on my power wash shit, but that's just, power washing.
Power washing. No, what I have been doing, I've been playing a lot of games, but I didn't really mention of it because it really wasn't a thing that I thought about too much, but I did get into the Synduality Echoes of Ada closed beta test. It started a couple nights ago, and I've been putting a good amount of hours into it. For those of you that don't know, Synduality Echoes of Ada is an extraction looter shooter being developed and published by Bandai. Well, actually, I don't know. It's not fully developed by, but it is being published by Bandai Namco. I actually do not remember who entirely is developing it.
So the blurb that Google gave me is that it's also on the Steam page. It is being developed by a group literally called Game Studio Inc.
Wow.
Well, good on you for knowing what your business focus is, but you could probably use a little bit more memorable branding. But yes, it's being published by Bandai Namco and developed by Game Studio.
And it is like I said, it's an extraction looter shooter in which you pilot a mech into the ruined Earth and, gather resources. And I want to say I like this game because I kind of do, but also I kind of don't. Because the way that they sell this game is that it's PvPvE. Meaning, not only do you have other players to contend to, you still have regular ass monsters to contend with. And I think I've gone on to the Repper. I'm not a fan of PvP. There's always someone who's going to be better than me, so that's always going to be a point of someone is eventually just going to get me. And I'm not an aggressive person. I don't like taking out other people. People are trying to live their fucking lives. This is a video game. I don't need unnecessary aggression in my life. I really don't. And I will say, fortunately, I've actually not had a lot of PvP experience in the closed beta tests. I've run actually into a lot of papers, but most people are just usually happy just to, get on with their lives and stuff. But I do know there have been some quote-unquote psychotic players in the game. And I do have a bit of concern. I'm going to say I believe Escape from Tarkov, people have been referencing that a few times. The thing that's been bugging me right now is actually connection issues. If you actually go into our games channel, I've actually posted a couple clips of me trying to play and having obvious problems. The first clip I posted is I am fighting what is basically a Magus Hunter, a bandit, which is basically you pilot something called a cradle, which is a squat mech that carries your magus, and which is your AI waifu / husbando, which is pretty neat. And and one of the enemies you can fight are basically enemy versions of those. So if you look on my clip, basically you see me peeking around a corner, you see me looking for this dude. And then, actually, hang on, let me see if I can copy paste it for the Patreon chat. It's probably deep in games. People probably don't have it easy finding it. Hang on here. 1 second. There it is.
A little bit of cruising in games about this, that, and the other thing.
Can I relink this somehow? Well, actually, I know I'll have to just do it. I'll just do it from my fucking phone. Hang on. Because that's what I've been doing. I just use the PlayStation app to download stuff from PlayStation onto my phone, and I go from my phone to Discord. But let me see here. Open up Discord on my phone. Go to Patreon Chateau. Alright, so I'll link this first one here. Give it a second to load. Like the game, its gameplay loop is very simple. Basically, you get shot to the servants, you go around, collect resources, and then you have to make it back to an elf. So okay, the clip is loaded. I'm gonna play it real quick here, and I'll just give a narration as I go. So this is me. I realize that there's some bandits in this area, and I'm trying to be cautious because I don't want to die. If you die, you lose all your shit, and that's very bad because sometimes it's hard to get started up. So I'm being very cautious. I'm looking around. I'm checking my corners, moving slowly. I see a guy. I'm like, oh god, there he is. I shoot him. He disappears back and starts blowing me up. It's like, that was basically a lag rubber band. It basically pulled back its action. So I wasted all those shots and got completely borked. This happens more than a couple times, but like this, I usually only really take note of it if it actually kills me. Let's see here. Let's link this one.
And, while you're getting that next one ready, I have not played a lot of extraction games myself. I think that's a game that has been pioneered mostly by certain modes in the Division series, like the Dark Area stuff has got some of that extraction vibes and Escape from Tarkov, but it is a genre that's up and coming. So,
I mean, I do, like I said, I do like the concept of an extraction shooter. I just don't. We don't need to make it about player versus player, or we don't need to make player versus player. We don't have to make it player versus player.
Yeah, I do think that just the spiciness of the PvP is like something that people use to gain an audience, but I'm gonna be honest. Maybe you don't want to market to the Dark Souls crowd. Maybe they deserve to go back in the basement. That I might talk about that later, but I know that video games writer Gene Park was basically harassed for saying that he liked Dragon's Dogma 2's combat more than FromSoft games. So yeah, no. Put the gamers back in the basement. But yeah, I think there's a certain appeal to making it PvP, but I also feel like there should be room for PvE sometimes. But the setup you've given sounds like what a lot of those games are pitched as. Is like, you got an area, you go out there, you got to return to a certain point with your shit. If you die, you're gonna drop all your fucking shit.
Not even all your shit. Like, but let me talk to this
go for it.
Clip right here. So in the second clip here, I just got done doing. I actually had a really good run here. I'm actually making my way to extraction, but I had just taken down what is known as a parasitic cradle. Basically, if cradles stay out, they actually have this really fun mechanic that I actually personally like. The weather is not your friend. Every so often that it will start raining, and it is called the blue rain, and it will destroy your cradle if you're left out into it too long. You actually have something called a weather resistant bar, and when that's empty, your cradle fucking is done. So you usually have to keep up with ceiling patches, which protect you, or you actually have to find cover. Find abandons, overhangs, stuff like that, and just wait out the storm. This is an interesting gameplay choice because your cradles only have a limited amount of operating time. Like your starting cradle, the Jack series, only has a 15-minute operation limit, which is like 16 and a half when you get the series bonus. If you get all three parts, because it has the body, arms, and legs. If you get all three parts of the same series in one slot, it gives you some bonuses, including your operation time. But I'm on my way out. I'm doing pretty good here. I just took out one parasite one. I see the second one. I'm pretty sure it's also a parasite one, so I'm gonna go fight it, trying to get some good loot off of it. And so I approach it. You see, I got my shotgun trained on it. It gets up. I'm like, oh no. I get behind it so it can't shoot me immediately. I blast it in the back several times. Everything's fine. I start reloading. It starts shooting me. I'm like, oh no, I gotta kill it. I shoot it. No damage. No damage. No damage. I die. Yeah, no. And that one, my hits were just not registering damage at all, which does happen on occasion, but usually it's with the game's more numerous enemies called Enders, which are just, biological monstrosities beyond mortal kin.
Some goopy little guys.
Again, I don't know how far apart people are on servers. Because like I said, I do run into people on occasion. I've extracted stuff with people. I fought things with them. It's like I've been shot at by people, but usually it's people more afraid that I'm gonna shoot them. Usually when I just don't shoot back, people are just like, oh, and just go on with their life. From what I because right now in the closed beta it says there are 2 areas, the southern area and the northern area. I can't remember which one is which, but it seems like a lot of the PvP is happening in the other one. And if that's the way they want to do it, I think like that's perfectly fine. Keep all the PvP in like different areas and stuff. My only concern is there's going to be materials in that PvP area that I got to get, and I have to risk it for the biscuit. Which again, I don't like risking it for the biscuit because if you lose everything. Like you have, as you can see on the first one, there's something called the emergency escape. That basically only lets you keep your magus, your mages, which is something that you can lose temporarily. And if you lose temporarily, you're fucking fucked. You have a lot of systems that are based around having your mages. So if you don't like properly bail out, you'll not only lose your mech, your weapons, all that stuff, you'll lose your mages too, and you'll just have to sit for like a half hour or try doing some runs severely limited. Like it's very punishing to lose stuff. Especially like right now, trying to get new gears and get new gear and cradles, it's expensive. So like I've actually like double checked on people. There are people on Reddit talking about how they can't play the game anymore because they've lost so much that they don't have enough money to actually buy appropriate weapons, and they're just stuck using the basic gear and having trouble progressing. So it's a game that I think has a very good concept, and like I said, it looks vibrant. It looks very vibrant. It can I think it's I'm in the southern area, or is it the northern? I'm sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. I really can't. But like there's several zones, there's like a lake, there's like a training desert zone, there's like some nice like forested area, city ruins, like there's a lot of little biomes that you go into. Enemy variety is very limited. Like, God, I think there's like 5 enemies total, I want to say. Well, no, maybe like 6 or 7. Because you got what are called chasers, which are basically the wolf-like enders, gazers, which are flying laser shooting boys. You have the Chaser Baron, which is a stronger version of the Chaser. You have crawlers, which are little guys that run up to you and detonate. You got the paraterized cradles, which are basically mech zombies. Then you have the Magus Hunters, which are basically bandits, and then you have the Magus Hunter Noble, which is basically a boss bandit you can get a good bounty on. Like that's all the enemies in the game. Everything else is probably player facing. But like I said, I still get that lag rubber banding effect with just AI enemies. I don't want to see what happens when I try to fight players with that kind of shit going on. I don't like PvP in general.
Yeah.
If people can, just act cool in general, like people like there's like, even though like people like might think it's like there's like rarity scarcity, there's really not. Like if you're not finding what you want, all you gotta do is leave, suit back up again, go out and try it in a different area. Like you don't like shooting people just for that. It's like I can't. It's like we're in technically an infinite resource generation kind of situation here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes from the closed beta. If they do an open beta on +5, I might give it a line. It sounds interesting.
It's definitely interesting and fun, but it is very clunky.
I'm very interested to see like what if there's any like squad based potential there. Obviously,
there
we're playing
is
a lot of Helldivers, so like
there is co-op. There's no like dedicated like social tab to like let you meet up with players, but if you meet players out in the world, you can like request like cooperation or like alliance things, but it doesn't seem to do much right now. No, I haven't done it with anyone.
I hope that like this closed beta is just like most closed betas. This is just, hey, does our netcode work? The answer seems to be no for the moment. They got some stuff to iron out there, but like, does our basic gameplay loop work? Probably like Patreon Chat was talking about this too, but like probably adjusting like how punishing and how much the resources are, because this sounds like the kind of game that's going to require you to keep your players coming back Or not to, I don't always have faith in game designers, but we'll see. But the scummy way would be you put the credit card slot so that when you lose all your shit, you can just feed real money in to get your shit back. I kind of hope it's not that angle, but
it might be. There is a the thing that got me jonesing most about this game actually is not like the combat or stuff. It's the base building. If y'all know Lucky loves base building, just in fucking general. You basically are given the most fucking piece of shit fucking garage you ever fucking seen, and you get to upgrade it points. And you have to upgrade like the floor and the ceilings and walls, and remove like debris, patch holes, remove shrubbery and brushes. I'm like, oh no, I love this shit. It's like, this is how they're gonna get me. I want to see what the final fucking product is.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
the way that they do that, and they also have crafting in the game, is that has timers. Like anytime you upgrade one of your facility layouts, it takes like the starting ones was a half hour. And they had a thing where it's like a quick build, and you have to spend like some Synduality coins or something to shorten it. So I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some sort of microtransactions, fucking
honestly,
pay to
if
win
it's
bullshit.
just jump timers, that sounds all right. That's probably pretty good.
It's not gonna be just those timers. It's never just fucking jump timers.
Yeah, probably not. Reminds me of fucking Mother Base coins and like all the stuff in the MGS5 version of Metal Gear Online. That's where Konami was really like, okay, we need to make our fucking money back. Jesus, give us some shit. So like, I hope, but I'm not assuaged that it will be not scummy. So we'll see how much of a pain in the ass that part is. But a lot of these types of games, I think, do actually have that wiggle room for like the especially the like actually like squatting up and partying up stuff, and kind of like that kind of like jolly cooperation. So I guess we'll see how it shakes out.
I would like I said, I wouldn't mind like some lads and going out and exploring and finding stuff, but it's like you never know. That's
reminds me of some comments I've heard from Rubik's about Tarkov, where he's joked about like playing with a big squad in Tarkov is almost as dangerous to your team as to enemies because you can get caught in the crossfire and shit.
Yeah, I mean, Helldivers taught me that much. Jeez.
Yeah, and Helldivers is only 4. At most, you're only 4 men, and you're not playing against other players. Though certainly, I think I would prefer the accuracy of players than automatons sometimes. Fucking rocket devastators, crazy guys. But yeah, this definitely has me interested to see what's up because I have not taken a lot of temperature on extraction shooters myself yet, but I am kind of interested because the new Marathon reboot is supposed to be an extraction shooter. I'm very curious to see what Bungie does with that, because, like, it's Bungie. They're gonna make a tight shooter. Like, I'm fairly confident from their years of, starting at shit like the Pathways into Darkness and Marathon and then Halo, and obviously Destiny as well, Bungie could still make good shooters. It'll be, like, the question is, like, okay, are we talking about, like, launch day Destiny type gameplay loop or, like, end of Destiny 1 lifecycle type gameplay loop? Because, like, they did a lot of stuff in between. And I'm not afraid to say that the day one, like, the launch, the 1.0 story of Destiny and, like, how that content worked, little thin on the ground. That shit like the fucking loot cave and other weird shit. So I'm very curious to see what they do with that. I know that there was a story a while ago that Bungie may be considering, instead of like a generic customizable player character avatar, no. for more of a unique quote unquote hero type look. Personally, even if they do like specific characters, I don't think it'll actually look like a hero shooter because it's Marathon. Like I genuinely don't know how they they might anyway, but I don't know how they would do that rearrangement to make it make sense for Marathon. Marathon's all about being literally a faceless, John Rando, the security officer. It may just be that they do, like, individual characters who have specific abilities and looks rather than, like, fully customizable stuff. Well, no, it won't be... Alright, Axe is trying to make a joke about Mandalore, but he's stretching it too far. No, that won't work. You're gonna be a disposable robot man because it's an extraction shooter. I think the trailer they showed literally shows them printing a new, like, robot body for somebody to use. But, like, that obviously has me and a lot of other people kind of out there. Oh, so you're just cribbing lore you don't know because there's no way you've played a single second of Marathon X. I mean, no, it is, but also, that's not what the fucking player characters in that's all NPC shit. You are John Shootman. Crazy AI tell you go here, shoot thing. shoot man. Not that like I it sounds like I'm shit talking Marathon. Those games are really good and story dense and do a lot of setup for Halo, but also like the gameplay is still fairly simplistic, even if it's good. The AIs don't have bodies for you to fuck with, so that would not help the hero shooter part anyway. But yeah, so we'll see like how they do, and that like makes me kind of interested because I assume that like the way it sounds like with Synduality, that's definitely going for just you are just John Robotman. You know, you can pick your mech and kind of go from there. Like,
yeah, you never see your own character. You're always through the You're always seeing through the your movement through the cradle. You can customize your mages though. They only have two types set, but they said there will be more later. And they are interesting. They do different stuff. Like there's 4 different types. Like there's 2 characters and each of them have 4 different types. Like you can have one that's spec'd for fighting enders, you know, the monstrosities. You have one that's spec'd for fighting cradles, one that's spec'd for exploration, and another one that's like spec'd for and another one spec'd for gathering AO crystals, which is the big currency that you need to make the moolah. So they put a lot of options in that, which, you know, makes it hurt all the more while when you fucking die and lose it all. Like I was thinking while you're talking, like here's the thing. This is the thing that I think I need. I don't think I would mind the PvP aspect so much as long as losing doesn't make the game unfun. Because that's what losing is right now. Losing is not fun. Because like I said, when you die, you lose everything. And the game does have something called like an insurance policy where you can spend insurance to like, if you like lose your shit, you know, you'll get reimbursed. But you don't get 100% reimbursement. And if you had to make an item, you don't get any of those materials back. You just get some money back. So it's like if you have spent like an hour and a half crafting a mech and getting, you know, the parts and armor and getting up to go do something big, and you get, you know, fucking killed because your network connection crashed or you know, someone decided to be a fucking asshole and gank you, then you have wasted that hour and a half of fucking prep work. Yeah. And that's not cool.
No, and some of that is what these games are going for, but this is definitely kind of like the thing that I do not care for in game design, where it's just like, well, that's part of the thrill, baby. We want to give you those stress hormones, and I'm like, no, I get none of that normally, Mr. Game Man, Mr. Game Developer at Game Studio Inc.
And like, if it wasn't for the fact that like I would lose like everything, if I had to like go on cooldown, or if I had to go pay someone to like go do a recovery job or something like that, then I'd probably be okay with more PvP. Like, cause like, I don't like, there should be some sort of penalty for me getting my shit kicked in or getting, you know, dropped on me, but not, you know, completely undoing all the fucking work I've been doing for the past like 2 hours. And
well, yeah, and especially when it's, I mean, obviously it's the closed beta, so none of this will probably carry over, but like, when it's because like the code is clearly buggy, you know, that's especially bad, because then it's not even your fault. It's because the game is being screwy and not, you know, registering stuff correctly.
No, but I definitely do think I would like maybe like some private games or something just to limit the amount of bullshittery that could happen. I don't know. Yeah,
and we'll see. Like, I'm pretty sure that it took them a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that like Fallout 76 has private lobbies, for instance.
I do think they said somewhere on the game that there would be offline play, which I'd be okay with. Like, if I just want to get comfy and just wander around, shoot monsters and gather shit, that'd be cool. And if I wanted to go online with my friends, I'd probably do that. I would not go online by myself.
Yeah, and I was gonna say definitely that, like, if that was a thing that, like, your squad could do, you know, your homies, like, oh, you die, but your squad can, like, pick up your shit so you can get it back at the end, you know, rather than just get, like, this is my main problem with shit, like, why I'm not super interested in battle royales. The fact that, like, okay, cool, there's 100 of you, you died, like, number 25, well, guess what? If you want your shit, you have to wait for fucking the other 75 guys to get through, and I'm just like, I don't got time for this, fuck. I'm gonna go play shit that's much faster paced.
No, so I do think there is a good game here in Synduality. Like I said, if people enjoy that PvP kind of stuff, like, I mean, sure, they probably have a blast, ruining other people's day. Yes, I say this. If you enjoy PvP, you enjoy ruining people's days. That is you.
Yes, there are some people on the internet who will get very defensive if you say that. Looking at you, controversy about seamless co-op Elden Ring cutting out PvP invasions. But it's definitely like, this is PvPvE, so like there's ambient environment shit to work on, and then there's this other stuff. I definitely feel like like even the website themselves. I'm like trying to read the fucking press here. It's like, oh, you can encounter other players trying to clear their own missions, so be careful. They could potentially hinder yours. Like,
honestly, no, that's fair. If you play well, actually, I should say that if you play PvP in a game where you don't have to PvP, you enjoy ruining someone's day. I should say
if you
that.
Play a game that has primarily PvE, dedicated PvP modes where we're just all like competing from the start. That's fine, No,
that's fine. That is normal competition. But if you're playing a game where you do not have to shoot someone in the back and you decide to shoot someone in the back, yes, you enjoy ruining people's day.
And listen, that's fine. You can do that. I've seen some very funny, like, for the content, for the gram type shit with, like, PvP trolling. And it's especially funny if the people you are trolling are assholes first, which can happen. But, like, that's okay. That's part of the joke. We can still say that.
But also, yes, and Legendary is right. Foam Stars is the PvP I like. Everything is very positive. We do not need to be toxic here. Be chill. Do chills.
I mean, here's the thing, Axe. The game's not PvP, and also getting shot in Helldivers doesn't ruin the game. Otherwise, it would be unplayable.
Yeah.
You seem to take personal offense when, Loth gets executed. But also, I just want to say, for someone who's often harsh on Loth, you were pretty relaxed with him when he killed me and I was carrying the samples. I have the samples that you love, and Loth killed me, and we didn't get him.
Axe probably would say, well, if I'd known that, I would have picked him up, because Axe loves picking up samples.
True. I don't know if you could pick him up, though, because Loth... Sorry, this is a story from Helldivers the other day. I understand, but like it's one of those things where, speaking of non-universal strategy, it's not universal. But we had a Helldivers moment. We were playing some very tough operations. We were doing some bot stuff, and I think it was a round of respawns, and I just so happened to like drop down really close to the extract and just got on before even like, because I was literally like right there, before even like calling in, because a couple people were dying after throwing me. So Loth walks up to the back and obliterated me. And then got in the back after setting our teammates to respawn. And yeah, I was a little mad with him. I said this after. I was like, well, dumbass, I got in because I was carrying some samples. I had some normal and rare samples in my pocket, which is important to extract. Those are those are like the one thing that physically need to get on the back. But it's whatever. It doesn't matter. We had some funny times. We wasted some reinforcements.
I mean, you hear me. Like, he said that, I immediately laughed.
Yeah. And
it's like, oh, no, I think the best comedy...
I know Loth feels bad when he fucking schwacks me accidentally with, like, an airstrike or a gunshot. I don't feel bad. When I...
Oh, no, like, we had our guns, like, fucking Omega's fucking Tesla turret just murdering us constantly.
Yeah, that was bad. I am sorry about that, but also you can hear me smiling. Like, it was definitely dumb, but it was also funny.
Wasn't it didn't Axe land on the fucking Loft's mech that then blew up and then killed you?
Yes. And I didn't feel angry at Axe about that. I was chastising myself because I'm like, shit, I should have said something. I held back because my first version of that comment was probably too mean-spirited, but I should have said or done something. I literally called my shot in my brain and I perished. It's my own fucking fault.
Or the cognitive errors where we kept falling on each other unintentionally by that man.
Yes, there was some... Sorry, I had my seat leaned back and it got stuck on the mat. Okay, we're back.
Well, yes, we sounded pretty pissed because, we are dying. We're not mad at you. We're mad at the situation. We're like, fuck!
Yeah, no, sorry. I mean, I was annoyed. I was not directing that at you. I was like, shit, I shouldn't have... That's my bad. No, we do that all... If we ever accidentally crush each other, it's absolutely because we can't see shit. That planet is very foggy. But no, like I said, it probably won't always sound the same, especially because I've been fucking dying this week. I probably sound a little raspier and a little shorter on my stick than normal, but I'm not usually, like I said, I'm not angry at the perpetrator. Especially with Loth just sighing dejectedly when he has killed me. Like, Loth feels bad enough for blowing me away. Admittedly, I will say there are times, Axe, when your response strategy of just, like, claiming up is, like, that probably makes me slightly more annoyed, because it almost seems like you're trying to, like, dodge. But you're not trying to dodge, you're just worried. You're like, oh shit, I shot Omega, and I'm like, well, I've died again. There are plenty of times playing earlier with either just Loth or even adding, when I was like starting this out with just Lucky, like just blowing myself up with grenades. Like it's part of the vibe. You got to write it out. That's why Helldivers is good. And Synduality could have that energy, but also like it sucks when people are just on your ass.
No, like I said, I'm not anti-PvP. I'm anti-ass. That's what I'm concerned. But I do think that is enough for Synduality right now. The closed beta test will be going on for the rest of this weekend. I do believe they said it stops like April 1st, I think.
Yeah.
So I am not as jazzed on it, because like I said, that second video was like my latest sortie. Like I said, I lost my fucking rabbit, so I'm like, I am quite nettled about that.
Yeah. I do want to say, though, I like speaking about it. I'm reading the webpage. I was in the middle of that earlier. The way it is phrased definitely sounds like the game itself may have like more focus on the story or single player side, because they throw it in at the end as like Synduality will also have multiplayer, with other drifters joining players to help or hinder you in missions, and fighting for resources. It definitely makes it sound more like, while this is an extraction shooter with those kinds of like that like they said, PvPvE elements, but it definitely may be that like in the final game that will not be the sole game mode, will be multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I would like a primarily offline experience, but then I can like hook up with squad mates and we can go into the fucking, the fucking Wild West of fucking Ruined Earth. That is my ideal situation. Do not force me to be in there. I will go when I feel nice and comfortable about it, or whatnot. But I do think that is probably enough about Synduality. I'll probably be keeping up on this. Oh yeah, no, Axe, that is definitely something you definitely can do. You can get on a high place, equip a sniper rifle, and just peg things from afar. I do, like, there are several different types of actually I didn't talk about this. Sorry, I'm playing Stellar Blade right now and I just got Soulsborne. What I mean by Soulsborne is I went around the corner. There are like different and like weapons and stuff. Like there's like they have live ammunition weapons and energy weapons. And yeah, you can get sniper rifles and just blow things away from very far away. But like I said, in this game, it's a little awkward because, again, it's all online, so rubber banding, and sometimes your hit just not registered. But that is enough on that, probably. So
yes, there's a wispy of breath there.
Oh, when I made the sound effect of me getting slapped by a fucking alien or something.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cutout there.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I think you followed up on your sentence, so I think the people got what was going on. When he said he was being Soulsborne, a skeleton jumped out of a corner.
Yes.
But yeah, then before I completely run out of juice, because that was a pretty lengthy topic, and it's a good to check in. Like I said, I wanted to put it on the docket because I knew that you were. It is not necessarily rare, but it is not the most common to see you tippity typing away in our games chat. So I'm like, oh, this is a thing that Lucky's on the ball. I want to hear his thoughts.
Yeah.
Something else that you're on the ball about is the demo for Stellar Blade finally dropped for realsies.
For realsies, it's real. I'm playing it right now. But yes, the Stellar Blade demo is live to the store, and you can play the opening act and the game up to the first real boss. It gives a good feeling of the startup and how things go. I don't think it's the full kit necessarily right now. I think they're still holding a few things back, but I think it's good enough. Definitely gets to get a good sense of the game, the gameplay, graphics, and excuse me. Oh shit, I might be running out of juice. And everything on top of that. More news has been coming out about it. They've been talking about how the game will have 3 modes you can play it. You could have, your usual performance, performance setting, graphical setting, and a balance setting. And people have been gushing a little bit over the graph of the balance setting because they say even like with even in I'm braining here. Even in performance mode, which caps you out at 60 FPS, you can still hit a quality of
1440p.
Yeah, 1440p. The balance mode is 50 to 60 FPS with upscaled to 4K.
Yeah.
And the graphics mode is just 4K capped at 30 FPS.
Yeah,
so a lot of people have been really excited about the balanced and the performance because it seems to be pushing a little bit more than what people are normally used to normally.
I mean, I'll say it. I know that there'll be people who'll be like, "But does the PS5 have any games?" By the way, if you say that, please die. I no longer need your rhetoric in this world. But no, this is literally what the Rebirth guy has said, is that, hey, when you're developing focused for a single console and you can put all of your development time into one set of specs, it's a lot easier to optimize and do, cool stuff. So, yeah, it sounds like they're kind of pushing the boundaries. And honestly, this is the thing that I saw on our games channel, but I agree with. But I'm hoping that the Switch 2, or whatever they call it when it finally comes out, can also hit like a minimum, 1080 60 frames mode, because that does kind of seem like the minimum we should be shooting for with like fully placed modern hardware. Obviously, PCs have flexible builds, so you probably need the kind of finer tuning to like cap your own frame rate at different points, right? I know this is the thing that like I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is actually struggling with, is because of its optimization, is like they had to add capping potential to some stuff. But like with game consoles, I know there are a lot of people who are like, "Oh, why is the minimum mode on this like 720p still?" A lot of people were very upset at some of the games coming out of the Metal Gear Master Collection, for instance, and it's like, well, it's because they're selling the Metal Gear Solid Collection on Switch. They need to be able to run it on a portable toaster. I say that because the Switch gets very hot and you could use it to toast bread. But also, yes, the Switch is not the juiciest console. We know this. It was running on outdated, I think it's in NVIDIA chips when it came out, which is like literally I think NVIDIA needed to like keep an old production line of chips open to make that run. But that's even like hitting 1440 is even better than like what performance mode in Rebirth is like. That's still like 1080 60 frames. So yeah, that's very interesting to hear about.
No, so yeah, they have been doing like interviews and whatnot, talking about developing and whatnot. They joke about how Eve, the protagonist of the game, has modes for having a short ponytail and a long ponytail. And they said that if they hadn't included the long ponytail, they probably would have been done like a year earlier.
I bet.
But yes, I have got my hands on the demo. I've already once. I did it again because this game I just wanted to inject it into my veins. But yes, no, actually getting my hands on it. Yes, I definitely see the Nier / Sekiro vibes it's putting off. Combat against mooks is pretty easy. You can just slash a combination of square and triangle to do them in. But once you get anything bigger than a Cocker Spaniel, you have to start worrying about blocking, parrying, and dodging a lot more. And it's I wouldn't say it's the most fluid of combats. I will say that Eve moving around does feel a little stunted. Like when you get into combat, you don't actually sprint around as much anymore. You kind of just slow walk around your enemies. Like I said, while you can dodge, it doesn't like feel like the biggest one, but it's still doable. Like I said, I was able to beat like the boss of the boss of the end on my first try, and so I do think like this probably won't satisfy the fucking Soulsborne diehards who's just like, no, I need to die like 80 fucking times before I feel like I have accomplished this.
Well, maybe they'll just go naked mode.
That is true.
And actually, that's another thing I was going to say is, just from like a little bit of the scuttlebutt on the ground, it said it does seem like there are going to be like a lot of equipment and customization options. Obviously, there'll be the funny costume to like, make her quote unquote naked, and that removes like your shielding and stuff. But it also sounds like there'll be buff equipment you can get as well to like increase attack speed or movement speed, maybe.
Oh yeah, no. You can upgrade your weapon to do more damage. You have something called an exospine. I'm not entirely sure what the exospine does, but it's a thing. You have gear to do other buffs, and then I think what people are talking about is your you do have something called the exterior, which I think is just your cosmetic stuff. You know, you have your suit, your earrings, and a face decoration. So, you know, like
we got a lot of stuff. We're cooking.
Yeah, they're cooking. But like I said, the game is very depressing, as expected from Shift Up. You basically start the game on a failed mission to retake Earth. You see the opening and it goes wrong in like the first 2 minutes. You're just like, oh, this is how we going. And it just gets progressively worse from there. So, like I said, I think the story will probably be pretty good. They showed a sick-ass trailer at the end of it. I'm like, yeah. Apparently, there'll be sections where you're fucking skateboard grinding on your sword. I'm like, what? What? Like I said, looks like there's going to be a lot of, I don't know if they'll actually do any, like, big references. Like, Shift Up has done a few games, and I do think they have, like, little references here and there, but I don't know. We'll see.
It'll probably just be like some costume nods, maybe.
I would like some costume nods. I would.
At the very least, that sounds like good cross promotion, you know. Though I'm pretty sure because it's just like the 2D style. Nikkei's only on phones, right?
Yeah, it has phones and it has a PC client.
Okay, does it have a PC client? Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not saying that it would benefit from being like on PlayStation or Xbox. I'm just wondering if like is that a market that Shift Up could get into? Obviously, like Genshin and Honkai have console ports as well, but also those games are more 3Dified, more ambient. I believe Zenless Zone is also going to have console clients as well, I think. I mean, it's you could make it work with as like an arcade shooter. It's not that complex. People have been doing console ports for years. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if that necessarily benefits their market. But yeah, I could see costume cameos. I should double check if it's correct, but I like the story anyway. I remember reading a story that people were reporting that the CEO of Shift Up like bought every full-time employee a PS5 so they could actually play the game when it's done.
I don't know if that I do remember hearing that story, but
I don't know how true it is. I just like the vibes that gives. If people are saying that is like that sounds like something they would do, that's cool. I can't imagine that, like, well, one, I don't imagine that every single one of them literally didn't own a PS5 at this, you know.
Oh, no, yeah, no, that's right. Fucking Shift CEO was so happy about Project Eve showing at the PlayStation Showcase, he bought all 260 of his staff a PS5. Yeah.
Move those units, baby, let's go. To the moon. It's funny,
as a
we're
CEO,
like
I can get
fucking
behind.
years into the PS5 life cycle. It's so weird. And there's still shit that's multi-gen. But yeah, no, looks super cool. Have not had a chance to check out the demo myself. Again, been very busy today, and also I'm super fucking tired. I think I'm gonna go lay down and power wash after this. But yeah, it's just one of those vibes. But if you got anything else specific to say about almost said Parasite Eve, no, though that did hit an anniversary recently. But you know, Stellar Blade, aka Project Eve. You know, go ahead and lay them on me, Chief.
No, like I said, it's the very beginning of the game, so you cool stuff unlocked. Like I know at one point, Adam, the guy you see in the trailer, he's the operator of the drone that you see with Eve. And at some point, that drone turns into a gun. And unfortunately, in the first level, you don't have that. It might be unlocked in the boss challenge because that's what you unlock that after you beat the area. But like I said, I kind of want to leave it. I want to see things on my own, like get them hot and fresh.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil yourself on any fun fights. That does seem to the boss fights are something that I've seen a lot of press previews praising, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sounds good. We got the good vibes. Was there another video game that was going through the press tour that I wanted to?
Going through the press tour?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Was there something else that recently like was getting previews? I don't think so. I think it may have just been because like I think some press people had access to the Stellar Blade like demos and other previews before it went live for everybody.
No, but you know, I think I did mention that I have a Dawn, so I'm gonna be on that hype train when it hits.
Yeah.
Was it late June or early July? I forgot.
Street date is July 2nd, I believe.
Ah, yes, the earliest of July.
Let's see. We've got yes. So it's sorry, I'm reading an article that's got the details. So yeah, it's if you pre-order, you can get it as early as the 28th for the early access period.
Oh, that's why it was
But yeah, it's July 2nd is the normal fire up. So let's see, 28th of June. So just like basically get a weekend early. But yeah, it's we're all cooking. But yeah, it's interesting. The only other like video game news I have before we get on out of here, because we crossed like 2 hours, we're good.
Yeah,
we're doing good. We have already announced the PlayStation Plus monthly games. So next month's free games for all levels. No further details on some of the other stuff, but there's plenty of games cooking out there as well. I'm trying to remember, there was what was it? There was lots of good games were released for April on like premium levels. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to check out Marvel's Midnight Suns and stuff. That was one of the ones they did. But April's games will be Immortals of Avium, Minecraft Legends, and Skull, the Hero Slayer. So Minecraft Legends is, a kind of a different take at Minecraft, got some strategy vibes. Skull is kind of like a roguelike little thing. You basically play a skeleton who's like the lowly minion of a demon king, and you gotta, power up and beat the guys, beat the heroes. Immortals of Avium, though, is very interesting. That's that first-person magical shooter. I don't know if people remember. It's by one of the Call of Duty teams. Let me see which exact studio it was. Yeah, it was an EA and published by Ascendant Studios. So it's an EA piece. It's like their first look at an overall level. Okay, no. So Ascendant Studios is new, but they looks like they were maybe spun off from some guys who were at a lot of ex-Telltale and some Sledgehammer Studios guys. Sledgehammer worked on a lot of Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 3 from on. They've done a decent mix of those. So it definitely got some of that first-person pedigree. If it's got ex-Telltale guys, they got some story stuff. Generally, the reviews were kind of like, all right, fairly average, generally favorable. They did apparently have some technical issues, as every game that comes out is, but it's okay. Unfortunately, it didn't make as much money as they hoped for because they had to do some layoffs afterwards, which is a little sad. It is funny. I'm literally reading. They've got citations on Wikipedia that they pushed this game to late August to they had to delay it, which may put it in a bad space because that means it had to compete with Armored Core and Starfield. I want to say Armored Core. Starfield didn't compete with shit. I shouldn't say that. It sold very well at the beginning, but like that game has no tail. Starfield sadly turned out to be kind of a nothing burger game. Thanks, Todd Howard. But people were hyped for it, so I'm sure that it was sold. Whereas Immortals of Avium had problems generating hype, but like I said, I heard from a decent number of people who got early previews that it looks like it played okay, and had a lot of like gameplay stuff. I'm sure I won't care about the story writing, but that seems like that is one of those games that I am glad is coming to something like PS Plus, because I'm just like, oh, well, I'll definitely like try it for 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And see, lots of games hitting that free level, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try this. But yeah, that's probably a good place to wrap up the show. Like I said, we're over 2 hours raw. I'm very, very tired feeling just sitting here speaking. I'll be enough, but it be how it be.
Be how it be.
It's sad. It's like really cool outside, but also I know that like that's because I've opened my window a couple nights this week. That's also gonna like get my eyes burning and shit. So I'm just like the old standby. I will probably try and like summon up enough juice to Helldive later, because I'm sure there'll be I need to log in to get my so many medals for the major order because we completed that first one.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I'll probably go do that.
I don't know what the daily order is, but we got a new off order because we gotta keep crushing some bots. There are rumors about automaton flying machines.
Why?
Well, it's because the bugs got flying bugs, so now they need to make flying bots.
They have dropships!
I know, it's funny, but yeah, that's... I haven't actually seen any like fucking found footage shit being reported on Twitter. It's just, I think, what one of the dispatches says, there's rumors about flying automatons. Separate, presumably, from their jetpack guys, who mostly just jump pack, but also suck. Fuck you, exploding guys. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm probably gonna like set this video to like set this audio to start audio editing and then converting into a video and like relax and power watch for a while. But thanks so much for everybody tuning in. Let us know your thoughts about new servants, about Sea Monster Crisis. Obviously, if you got any thoughts about the Wanted, you can leave that when that's up. Like I said, that'll probably be public before this video's up. If you missed it because it was posted like late night for you, go ahead and fire it up. Keep your eyes peeled for some other stuff we got going out there. And, we'll have a good time. So that's probably, the wrap-up zone.
The wrap-up zone.
Sorry, I have to be careful saying anything with zone, especially if it's short, because, thanks to the invasive power of ads, I've just, like, constantly think of get in the zone. AutoZone.
AutoZone.
Yeah. Good job, AutoZone. You have hacked my brain. Thanks. Anyway, let's do outro. Let's outro. If you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. We love comments. Leave them. Or else. You can also hit up our Discord. Link in the description and on our channel page. If you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Keep that channel energy going. And ring the bell for notifications so you guys know we're posting new videos and streams. You can also support the channel by joining our channel memberships, which does give you access to membership badges and emotes. It's pretty cool. And also, as I mentioned at the front of the show, you can support us on Patreon, get access to this episode's audio format for as little as $1 a month, or approximately $10 a year. With an annual membership, higher levels, you can get access to videos early, like Wanted, and access to our topic polls. And also, higher levels, listen to the show get recorded live and all that other stuff. It's a fun time. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you next week for more. Good night, everybody.
Good night.